Let me say something most men never question. Emotional pain doesn't come from loss. It comes from resistance. Not the event, not the person, not what changed. It comes from what you refuse to accept. And if you don't master this, life will quietly erode your confidence, your focus, and your respect. A message ends. A relationship shifts. A future you imagined disappears. And instantly your mind screams, "This shouldn't be happening." Marcus Aurelius had a word for this. Suffering. Not sadness, not grief. Suffering. Today I'm going to break down one rule Marcus lived by. A rule that doesn't make you numb, doesn't make you cold, but stops emotional pain at the source and protects your inner authority. Most men hear this rule and misunderstand it. They try to use it after pain hits instead of before it even starts. Stay with me, because once you see where pain actually comes from, you can't unsee it. Set up. Why emotional pain feels unavoidable. Most men think emotional pain proves depth. If something hurts, it must have mattered. And that's partly true. But here's the dangerous truth. Pain isn't caused by caring. Pain is caused by attachment to outcomes. You don't suffer because someone left. You suffer because you needed them to stay. You don't suffer because plans changed. You suffer because you wanted stability from something unstable. Marcus Aurelius saw this clearly. He wasn't against love. He wasn't against ambition. He was against dependence. Dependence turns normal change into psychological damage. And quietly, men who cling lose respect, lose focus, and lose control. The rule introduced, no comfort yet. Here is the rule. Do not demand that reality conform to your expectations. Simple, unforgiving. Because the moment you say, "This must go my way," you've already planted the seed of pain. Read that again. Not "this would be nice." Not "I prefer this outcome." Must. Every emotional wound traces back to that word. When someone pulls away and it hurts, there was a must. When effort isn't returned and it hurts, there was a must. When uncertainty triggers anxiety, there was a must. Marcus Aurelius believed the mind suffers the moment it argues with what already is. Why this rule feels impossible? Most men panic. So I shouldn't want anything. So I should stop caring. So I should lower my standards. Number. Marcus Aurelius never said don't want. He said don't cling. You can prefer outcomes without chaining your peace to them. You can pursue connection without needing it to stabilize you. The pain isn't in desire. The pain is in emotional entitlement. The moment you believe reality owes you a result, you stop adapting and start suffering. Where emotional pain actually begins. Here's the shift most men never make. Pain does not begin when something ends. It begins earlier. It begins the moment you emotionally live in a future that hasn't arrived. You assume continuity. You assume commitment. You assume meaning. And when reality corrects you, the correction feels violent. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to stay aligned with what exists, not what he hoped would exist. That alignment neutralizes pain and preserves inner control. Why acceptance kills pain, but increases strength? Here's the paradox. Acceptance doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you. When you stop fighting what is, your energy returns. No internal argument, no replay loops, no emotional resistance. You see clearly. You respond cleanly. People confuse acceptance with surrender. It's not surrender. It's removing friction from life. Marcus Aurelius believed friction is where suffering lives. Not in events, in resistance to events. Practical application, where most men break. Change happens. Distance appears. Energy shifts. Immediately, analysis starts. Stories form. Meaning inflates. You try to emotionally negotiate reality. What did I do? What does this mean? How do I fix it? That mental scrambling is pain. A Stoic response looks boring. Acknowledge the change. Adjust behavior. Don't protest internally. No emotional court case, no silent pleading. Just clarity. The real test of the rule. Ask yourself honestly, when something doesn't go your way, do you tense internally? Replay conversations? Try to restore an imagined past. That tension is resistance, and resistance is optional. Pain lasts only as long as you argue with reality. What this rule does not mean. Important clarification. This rule does not mean apathy, indifference, lowering standards, giving up. It means psychological alignment. You still act. You still choose. You just don't emotionally punish yourself for outcomes you don't control. Move forward without dragging pain with you. Why most men avoid this rule? This rule removes drama. No emotional spikes. No victim stories. No self-justification. Just responsibility. Responsibility forces growth. Most prefer suffering because it allows blame. Control doesn't. Final integration, the payoff. Let's close this. Marcus Aurelius' rule wasn't about avoiding pain. It was about ending unnecessary pain. Reality changes. People leave. Plans break. That part is unavoidable. But suffering is a choice. The moment you stop demanding life obey your expectations, emotional pain loses its leverage. You don't become hard. You become clear. Clarity is real relief. If this hits something you've been carrying, comment acceptance. If you've noticed pain comes from resistance, share your experience. This channel isn't about comfort. It's about mastery of the mind. Subscribe if you're done arguing with reality. Stay disciplined. Stay centered.